No one familiar with my work will be surprised by this news that The Blind Side was based on a lie. Michael, an ex-NFL player whose story was mythologized in the movie The Blind Side, has recently filed court papers that he was tricked into a conservatorship, waiving his rights, and his rich white benefactors profited from his labor. The problem with the Britney Spears coverage is that it was told as a story of a poor family taking total control of their talented daughter to enrich themselves, while making it seem like this wasn't a common thing. And it is, especially with minor black males from poor backgrounds. And it's really a challenge within the Free Britney movement at large, the extent of racism, classism, and ableism, which has really ruined a lot of the potential the movement could have had in advancing justice for all people. And it's a real mix of how the movement was problematic, and these systems of oppression always harm the most marginalized the most. And, we think, oh, he's an NFL player, he's rich, right? He wouldn't have been able to get there without them. And that's probably how they'll spin it. But you can't just think, oh, it's a conservatorship thing, it's an adoption thing, it's also a guardianship thing. There's a lot of ways that this happens. I recently published this story on my Substack. It is free. It took me a long time to research, a long time to write, because from the outset, I knew that Lou Taylor, who was Britney Spears' business manager, didn't just magically come up with this idea of a conservatorship. It's a bizarre, weird idea. It doesn't even seem practical or reasonable or plausible that anyone could do this to her, right? So then you look for precedent. Where else has this happened, and how else has it happened? And all you have to do is look how Lou Taylor got her start in the sports and entertainment world. And the patriarch of who gave her her start, which was John Davamos, his dad took guardianship of a minor black child from the Dominican Republic in the 80s. I don't know exactly when this trend started. All you have to do is look at Soviet Russia and them training gymnasts, and it's not a rare occurrence. I don't have the historical background to tell you how prevalent it is, but I will say it is super prevalent in the sports world versus these anomalies of Britney Spears, Brian Wilson, Amanda Bynes. And I recommend you read it, not only because I'm an excellent writer, but it's all this background the media is censoring and won't talk about. They won't even talk about Lou Taylor. And the whole reason why they won't is because this whole idea came from the 1% that treats people as investments, like racehorses, and they don't want to be exposed because it's far more common than the public understands. Courtney Love gave me an excellent review of my Substack article. She was also a victim of Lou Taylor, and yet she has never been taken that seriously by the mainstream media or the Free Britney movement, and that is by design. And there's a lot more to this story besides, the powers that be taking custody and control over people who are actually talented, singers, actresses, sports stars, versus the Nepo babies that typically get those opportunities. And there's so much that the mainstream media will not cover. And I hope that a little more understanding comes out of this story of Michael, the NFL, and how Hollywood reifies itself through cultural reproduction, the white savior narrative, and how Free Britney has really failed to uplift and give voice to people that are oppressed by the same systems. So yeah.